Hi, and welcome back to an episode of the Guys Book Club in the World Book Club. Yeah. And today, guys, we're on extremely special episode because today, guys, we're on episode number 340. Guys, every time I said this number, I just can't believe it. 340 episodes, guys. Let's go. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're already familiar with the channel, welcome back. My name is Zeki, and I'm the host. And on this podcast, guys, we're working together on English speaking level, reading level, and the communication skills to stand in front of the camera and to communicate well from the camera. I'm doing this podcast because I truly believe that English is the number one tool to teach one of us must require in order to be successful in life. And the second tool that is going to help us a lot is to know how to communicate well from the camera. And if you take those two skills and you can combine them together, you can create great content to the internet, and you can influence billions of people all around the world. And I tell you guys, I'm gonna speak to you right now. If you see, we get 2 subscribers, 327 total views of the channel, 332 episodes on YouTube. And I mean, my dorm university, and maybe I can show it in something maybe do it right now. You can see right now. Yeah, this is from where I recording. This is my bed. Can I still meet him? This is your boy, the one and only your boy, AK. See, this is where I'm podcasting right now. And it's making back. This is from where I'm podcasting right now, but I don't let it affect me. Because in my mind, where this picture? No, where she missed. I don't let it impact my mind because I can. What I feel is that I'm looking this phone, this camera, and I see like I'm Johnson look in the mirror, I just see billions of people, opinions of billions of people that are just waiting for me to show my message, and this is what I see. This is just temporary. The environment that I'm writing right now is just temporary. It's going to change, and I know it. I just can feel it. They're putting the ball each day to inspire the ball and make a difference because I was here. And guys, this is what I'm trying to do with this podcast. I'm trying to inspire the people to also do the same, to also work on English. And people like you, the ladies and gentlemen that are watching this podcast right now, I'm trying to inspire others you, like you, to also do the same, share with the world, inspire the world. Just speak your truth. No matter how you sound, how you look, just do it, guys, do it. Same moment. I just show you my studio. This is me. And I just continue to put the work. And even though this, honestly, also people don't want to use podcasts, but I don't come because I know that I'm practicing. And one day my opportunity will appear and I will be the master, like Greg Plitt. In the end, you will be the master. Check it on YouTube. So anyway, guys, and hoping the best with you guys, my journey from my ups and downs, my failures, my success, the obstacles that I was facing, and how I overcome them from doing a podcasting 5 extreme episodes per week. I inspire people like you to do the same, to also share with the world and inspire the world. And guys, today, so I hope you get inspired by it. And today, guys, we got this friend of mine. She's just thinking about what I'm saying. She's thinking about the meaning of life. And guys, if you want to cheer her up, and if you want to check her out, you can find her on 321 Bam, that's right. You can find her on Good Fun. And this grand account uploaded to Good Fun by Nathan and Vanilka. Shout out to Vanilka. On 21 on May 2017, and it's downloaded already 4,610 times. And guys, of course, we like it because it's a really great picture. And guys, if you want to download the picture, you just need to choose the resolution from here. Press download. Right click on the picture, go to Shmirat Tmunat B'Shem in Hebrew, and save picture as in English, and type down in the comment below I want it in your own language. Press on it. None of us may need to guess from all around the world when you type it in your own language. Choose the way to save it on computer. Press save and comment just like that. You will get this grand background on computer, and you notice the sound effect. So guys, thank you very much. for the artist who made this great background, and thank you very much for Vaninka for sharing this great background with us. And today, guys, we continue our journey with Influence the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini. It's a really good book. On each episode, I learned something new from this book, and I use it to also learn from it. So guys, if you want to check out this account, or if you want to check out the book, or open the Cialdini social media account, you got all the link in the description below. So make sure check them out, like them, and learn from them. Guys, if anyone of you have any suggestions for me, I can move myself on the podcast, or if anyone of you want to come to a podcast, they guys to the podcast, share your message to this found about make a difference, because we're please tell me in the comment or just if I if in English, because I'm a really nice guy. Please tell me in the comment below so we can arrange it. And of course, guys, you're always welcome if you learn something new from the channel, maybe something that's from a nice quote from the book. Or maybe you have your own life experience and you learn something new from somewhere else. You're always welcome to share your wisdom with us for the community in the comment section below. So the community can enrich our life and improve ourselves. Thanks to you. So guys, thank you very much in advance. Thank you very much. And one last thing, guys, before we jump to the book, if you enjoyed the process, if you like the video, and I need to change the date. Enjoy the process if you like the book. And if you need something with the channel, please consider to share and support by liking the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friend, and push the notification bell so you get it on each time. It's extremely exciting I'm coming to YouTube, and it's going to be 5 extremely exciting episodes per week. 5. So make sure to check the video, to check them out, and know the 400 episodes are coming really soon. I'm just fixing it. Just notice that the date over here was a night because I wake up I'm trying to wake up early in the morning, like 7 a.m. for midweek, and I woke up myself, and now I don't have so much time to record, so I forgot to change the date. So guys, today the date is 11 on April 2022, and total sub counts is 2. We have 2 subscribers to the channel. We have total views of 327 total episodes of the total views of the channel. And the current episode, the episode that I'm going to release today it's Monday, it's going to be episode 332. So shout out. And now, guys, just want to show you what I'm hearing. Screen. This is a song that I'm listening, and I found out that when I'm putting music on my eyes, it's just much nicer. So you got the link to it in the description below. Now, guys, if you want an introduction, just dive right into the book. So are you ready for it? And shout out to the 2 subscribers. Ready for it? Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini. Read what the myth, the legend, the one and one is the man himself. Give me some drum, please. Mr. John, please. Mr. John, please. So boy, yeah. Let's go. Let's go and do it quietly because I don't want to wake up my roommate in the other room. Gotta tell you, it's early in the morning. Let's go. For the salesperson, the strategy is to obtain a large purchase by starting with a small one. Almost any small sales will do, because the purpose of the small transaction is not profit; it is a commitment. Further purchases, even much larger ones, are expected to flow naturally from the commitment. And we are reading from page 65 to 68, 55 to 58. An article in the trade magazine, American Salesman, put it succinctly. The general idea is to pave the way for full line distribution by starting with a small order. Look at it this way. When a person has signed in order for your merchandise. Even though the profit is so small, it hardly compensates for the time and the effort of making the call. He is no longer a prospect. He is a customer. The tactic of starting with a small request in order to gain eventual compliance with related larger requests has a name. The foot in the door technique. The social scientists first became aware of its effectiveness in the mid-1960s. When psychologist Jonathan Friedman and Scott Fraser published an outstanding set of data. They reported the results of an experiment in which the researcher, posing as a volunteer worker, had gone door to door in a residential California neighborhood making a preposterous request of homeowners. The homeowners were asked to allow a public service billboard to be installed on their front lawns. To get an idea of just how the sign would look, they were shown a photograph depicting an attractive house, the view of which was almost completely obscured by, by a very large, poorly lettered sign reading "Drive carefully." Although the request was normally and understandably, and although the request was normally and understandably refused by the great majority, 83% of the other residents in the area, this particular group of people reacted quite favorably. A full 76% of them offered the use of their front yards. The prime reason for their startling compliance has to do with something that had happened to them about 2 weeks earlier. They had made a small commitment to driver safety. A different volunteer worker had come to their doors and asked them to accept and display a little 3-inch square sign that read, "Be a safe driver." It was such a trifling request that nearly all of them had agreed to it. But the effects of that request were enormous. Because they had innocently complied with a trivial safe driving request a couple of weeks before, those homeowners became remarkably willing to comply with another such request that was massive in size. Friedman and Fisher didn't stop there. They tried a slightly different procedure on another sample of homeowners. Those people first received a request to sign a petition that favored keeping California beautiful. Of course, nearly everyone signed, since state beauty, like efficiency in government or sound prenatal care, is one of those issues almost no one is against. After waiting about 2 weeks, Friedman and Fisher sent a new volunteer worker to those same homes to ask the residents to allow a big drive carefully sign to be erected on their lawns. In some ways, the response was the most outstanding of any of the homeowners in the study. Approximately half of those people consented to the installation of the drive carefully billboard, even though the small commitment they had made weeks earlier was not to driver safety, but to an entirely different public service topic: state beautification. At first, even Friedman and Fraser were bewildered by their findings. Why should the little act of signing a petition supporting a state beautification cause people to be so willing to perform a different and a much larger favor. After considering and discounting other explanations, Friedman and Frosten came upon one that offered a solution to the puzzle. Signing the beautification petition changed the views of people ahead of themselves. They saw themselves as public spirited citizens who acted on their civic principles. When, 2 weeks later, they were asked to perform another public service by displaying the drive carefully sign, they complied in order to be consistent with their newly formed self-images. According to Friedman and Fresher, what may occur is a quote. What may occur is a change in the person's feelings about getting involved or taking action. Once he has agreed to a request, his attitude might change. He might become, in his own eyes, the kind of person who does this sort of things, who agrees to requests made by strangers, who takes action on things he believes in, who cooperates with good causes. What the Friedman and Fresher findings tell us then is to be very careful about agreeing to trivial requests. Such an agreement can not only increase our compliance with very similar, much larger requests. It can also make us more willing to perform a variety of larger favors that are only remotely connected to the little one we did earlier. It's this second general kind of influence concealed within small commitments that scares me. It scares me enough that I am rarely willing to sign a petition anymore, even for a position I support. Such an action has a potential to influence not only my future behavior, but also my self-image in ways I might not want. And once a person's self-image is altered, all sorts of subtle advantages become available to someone who wants to exploit that new image. Turning the music. I want to with new with that wants to exploit that new image. Who among Friedman and Fresher homeowners? Who among Friedman and Fresher's homeowners would have thought that the volunteer worker who asked them to sign a state beautification petition was really interested in having them display a safe-driving billboard 2 weeks later? And who among them could have suspected that their decision to display the billboard was largely due to the act of signing the petition? No one, I would guess. If there were any regrets after the billboard went up, who could they conceivably hold responsible but themselves and their own namely strong civic spirit? They probably never even considered the guy with the keeping California beautiful petition and all that knowledge of jiu-jitsu. Damn. Hey. The freestyle is coming, 400 episode, special episode. The freestyle is coming. Notice that all of the foot in the door experts seem to be excited about the same thing. You can use small commitments and manipulate. Notice that all of the foot in the door expert seems to be excited about the same thing. You can use small commitments to manipulate a person's self-image. You can use them to turn citizens into public servants, prospects into customers, prisoners into collaborators, collaborators. And once you have got a man self-image where you want it, he should comply naturally with a wide range of your requests that are consistent with this view of himself. Not all commitments affect self-image, however. There are certain conditions that should be present for a commitment to be effective in this way. To discover what they are, we can once again look to the American experience in the Chinese prison camp of Korea. It is important to understand that the major intent of the Chinese was not simply to extract information from the prisoners. It was to indoctrinate them, to change their attitudes and perceptions of themselves, of their political system, of their country's role in the war, and of communism. And there is evidence that the program often worked alarmingly well. Dr. Annie Segal, chief of the neuropsychiatric evolution team that examined returning POWs at the war ends, reported that war-related beliefs had been substantially shifted. The majority of the men believed the Chinese story that the United States had used germ warfare, and many felt that their own forces had been the initial aggressors in starting the war. Similar inroads had been made in the political attitudes of the men. This quote: many expressed antipathy towards the Chinese communists, but at the same time praised them for the fine job they have done in China. Others stated that although communism won't work in America, I think it's a good thing for Asia. End of quote. It appears that the real goal of the Chinese was to modify, at least for a time, the hearts and minds of their captivates. If we measure the achievement in terms of defection, disloyalty, change attitudes and beliefs, poor discipline, poor moral, poor spirit, and doubts as to Americans' role. Dr. Segal concluded that the efforts were highly successful because commitment tactics were so much a part of the effective Chinese assaults on hearts and the minds. It is quite informative to examine the specific features of the tactics they used. Title: The Magic Act. Our best evidence of what people truly feel and believe comes less from their words than from their deeds. Observers trying to decide what a man is like look closely at his actions. What the Chinese have discovered is that the man himself uses the same evidence to decide what he is like. His behavior tells him about himself. It is a primary source of information about his beliefs and values and attitudes. Understanding fully this important principle of self-perception, the Chinese set about arranging the prison camp experience so that their captivates would consistently act in desired ways. Before long, the Chinese knew those actions would begin to take their toll, causing the men to change their views of themselves to align with what they had done. The writing was one sort of confirming action that the Chinese used incessantly upon the men. It was never enough for the prisoners to listen quietly or even to agree verbally with the Chinese line. They were always pushed to write it down as well. So intent was the Chinese on securing a written statement that if a prisoner was not willing to write a desired response freely, he was prevailed upon to copy it. The American psychologist Edgar Schein describes a standard introduction season tactic of the Chinese in those terms. A further technique was to have the men write about the question and then the pro-communist answer. If he refused to write it voluntarily, he was asked to copy it from the notebooks, which must have seemed like a harmless enough concession. But those harmless concessions. We've already seen how apparently trifling commitments can lead to extraordinary further behavior. And the Chinese knew that as a commitment device. The written declaration has some great advantages. First, it provides a physical evidence that the act occurred. Once the man wrote what the Chinese wanted, it was very difficult for him to believe that he had not done so. The opportunities to forget or to deny to himself what he had done were not available, as they are for purely verbal statements. No, there it was in his own handwriting, an irrevocably documented act, driving him to make his beliefs and his self-image consistent with what he had undeniably done. A second advantage of a written testament is that it can be shown to other people. Of course, that means it can be used to persuade those people. It can persuade them to change their own attitudes in the direction of the statement. But more important for the purpose of commitment, it can persuade them that the author genuinely believes what was written. People have a natural tendency to think that a statement reflects the true attitude of the person who made it. Again, people have a natural tendency to think that a statement reflects the true attitude of the person who made it. What is surprising is that they continue to think so even when they know that the person did not freely choose to make the statement. And guys, guess what? This is the end of the episode. So we're on time. So guys, thank you much for joining me. I really appreciate the fact that you choose to invest in me. I can't wait to see you all in tomorrow's episode. Yeah, it's a pinch party time. Yeah. And I can't wait to see you all on Sunday for the next episode, extremely exciting episode of the Guns Book Club in the world, the Book Club. Until then, take care of yourself. Have a great time and bye-bye. Guys, today is Monday, 11 on April 2022, and time now it's 8:52 in the morning. Yeah, it's finally in the morning. And I'm really happy that I woke up and make it. It's to start the day with a win. זה יום שני, 11/4/2022, בשעה עכשיו 8:53, יוצאים הרבה לחץ, יש שם את הסיומים של החמת יוצרים לפסח, ויש בערב את המסיבה הזו של אביר ונשירה, אז אני מפסיד גם שהגעתי את הפרקים בבוקר, אנחנו צריך לעשות, להקליט, צריך לעשות את זה ככה, וזה מסיים כל המשימות שלי על הבוקר, ואז יש לי את כל ללמידה. יאללה, עכשיו בדרך לאמנות, להתראות, יום טוב, תקשורת חזותית, להתראות.